What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotics, bringing you our Week 5 battle for the IBL. Today, we are facing off against Incog and his Boston Cindaquils in a game that is going to be ideally an important one for us. He is currently 1-3. He's got a very scary team. Look at it. It's Sun. He's got Grimmsnarl for status. He's got access to Gmax, Blastoise, Melmetal, and Terrakion. It's actually the second Melmetal Terrakion team that I'm playing this weekend. I play Live in a couple hours, but I would have played Live yesterday in the video that you guys saw for BBR. So I don't know how that one went, but this is already a very, very, very scary group of Pokemon for me to deal with. As always, there is a timestamp on the screen for you guys to skip to watch the battle if you're not interested in watching the team builder. If you did stick around, I would greatly appreciate it. And make sure, of course, to leave a like on the video, guys. We are absolutely crushing it, and I would really appreciate a like from you guys if you're enjoying it. And if for some reason you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Our goal is 1,000 by the year's end. 900 I think is definitely doable. 1,000, I'm going to need your help to get there. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. Looking at the team, the biggest threats that we have to deal with, there is Terrakion and Melmetal. Those are the two biggest. After that, Gmax Blastoise is a close second. And then followed by that is the Sun. That's 5 mons right there. He can bring those 5 mons plus webs with Araquanid. He can bring Cindaquils to be a general annoyance. He can bring Grimmsnarl to be a really big problem for me my team as well. Like, there's so many different options for him to bring, but he's got 5 fantastic ones right there in Terrakion, Melmetal, Ninetales, Venusaur, and Gmax Blastoise. Our team, though, we're going to start off with our MACHAMP. Why MACHAMP? Well, this thing kind of just destroys my opponent's team. We're running Guts this week, and oh my god, this thing is so strong. The good thing about this is that we can take so many hits from my opponent's team, which is just amazing. Without being able to take the hits, we wouldn't be able to be running this set. We'd have to run an offensive set without the Flame Orb, probably something like an Assault Vest or whatnot. But this set is very strong. MACHAMP has speed for Adamant Melmetal. We take any one Life Orb Venusaur attack and we OHKO it back with Facade. We also take a max attack Sphere Break from the Grimmsnarl or an Adamant no attack Play Rough from that same Grimmsnarl if it comes in on something slower than us. If it does, and there's a lot, if it comes in on basically that means Melmetal, Araquanid, Krokorok, that's it. But honestly, Melmetal's the big one. We basically get a KO. It's hilarious how strong this is. I feel like this is going to be the MVP of this week. With close combat, we hit my opponent's team for amazing damage. His only fighting resists, he has 3, 4 of them. Okay, he has 4 of them. He has the Araquanid, he has the Venusaur, the Sigilif, and the Rapidash Galarian form. But we have Facade, which hits all of them neutrally. We have Knockoff to help make some predictions a bit easier, and then we have Bullet Punch for priority, mostly to hit the Grimmsnarl for solid damage, doing about 50% of that thing. It'll let us get some last-ditch effort damage off on the Venusaur if we're in range of a Sludge Bomb or a Giga Drain or a Solar Beam or whatever, so I definitely feel it's a really strong set. I led with it in my mock against Liv, and it put in a lot of work. So I'm hoping that we can lead with it again and just go to town, because looking at the rest of the roster that I'm bringing, nothing really wants to be my lead. So I said, you know what, we'll run this, and this could be a really solid lead option. It takes hit from Terrakion. If he decides to lead with that, fire back at close combat, get the KO, and I'm good to go. That's it. Moving on to our next mon, it is going to be our Gmax Inteleon here with the Rindo Berry for the second straight week. Air Slash, Snipe Shot, Dark Pulse, and U-Turn. We're still running Sniper as the ability because Snipe Shot has a 50% chance to crit. Very, very valuable there. Need to make sure that we can get as many crits as possible. It's boosted even more so than 1.5. I think it's actually times 2 or 2.25. So very, very powerful, and we need to make sure we get crits with this set if we want to do the most amount of damage to things not named Blastoise or Venusaur. Our speed on this set is 1 for Terrakion, and 2 to make sure that we outspeed a Monist Venusaur while it's in Sun, while we have a +1 boost from our Max Airstream. The rest of this set is mostly just meant to be supportive. Dark Pulse is there for Max Darkness because Max Darkness will lower my opponent's special defense, so if it ends up being Blastoise against Gmax Inteleon and I only have 1 turn left of my max moves, I can go for a Max Darkness, lower his special defense, and then I can fire off Dark Pulses after that, which will do more damage than just going for an Airstream into an Air Slash. There you go. I think that's a pretty simple reason to have that. And U-Turn is there to move around things. Araquanid may want to come in. It could be running Water Absorb, but obviously Snipe Shot, while my Water moves are in Gmax mode, they're immune to, it's basically Mold Breaker and move. So Water Absorb would not actually work, meaning we can get off a very powerful Gmax Hydro Snipe. However, I do have Max Airstream for it. Basically, it's just so I don't have to automatically go for a Gmax move right away as soon as I bring it in. I want to be able to bring in Inteleon, force something out, go to a U-turn, and then bring in one of my other threats like the Aedu Slash, like the Curum, like the MACHAMP, and just go to town. That's what we have Inteleon here, very strong mon, and I'm hoping that we can get the job done with this set. And the big thing as well, because I'm running Rindo Berry, we actually take a We take any attack from the Venusaur while we're Gmax, while we have a Rindo Berry. Very important. We take a Leaf Storm in the Sun. We're good to go. We take a Solar Beam in the Sun. If it's Life Orb, if it's Modest, we're fine. We do not take a Solar Beam, a Petal Dance, or a Leaf Storm if it's Life Orb and we're not in Gmax. Okay, so we need to make sure, or we don't have a Rindo Berry. We have to make sure we have one or both of those, and he's not that. If he's running Giga Drain as his only grass move, then we're fine. We can take the hit while on Gmax even without a Rindo Berry. But this is what we have. I'm hoping that we can get the job done. Max Air Slash should just do a ton of damage to my opponent's team, and I'm really hoping that we get it done because the Venusaur is one of the biggest threats, and if we can weaken that thing, it really opens up a lot of the game for the rest of our mons. So moving on, our next set is going to be our Rotom Heat with the Chardy Barrier. Now the Chardy Barrier is an important item for us this week because it is the only way that the Melmetal can hit us for really good damage. With the Rock move, Terrakion is going to run Stone Edge against us. If I can burn one or both of those, then we're in a fantastic position. It also allows us to Volt Switch around and use Hex very, very consistently because we're going to be Will-O-Wisping absolutely everything. If I can Will-O-Wisp the Melmetal or the Terrakion or both, I can just go for a Hex or a Volt Switch, depending on the situation, get off a really big damage, and basically just neutralize them because I do have answers to each of these in the back. I just need to make sure that they get burnt because those answers become a lot more effective once these Pokemon are burnt because they can also be offensive after they check these Pokemon. Will-O-Wisp also helps out with something like the Grimmsnarl, helps out a lot with something like, I guess the Rapidash because it wants to be offensive, physically offensive, but I mean, we have Hex to hit that for super effective damage. Pain Split is there specifically to get recovery. If it ends up being Blastoise against this thing, I really want to be careful about how I play it because I may have to go for a Pain Split to get back HP instead of going for a Volt Switch in case it ends up being a weakness policy set. Because if it's a weakness policy and it got off a Rapid Spin beforehand, I'm in so much trouble. So I gotta be very, very careful about that. But at the end of the day, Volt Switch should do about 40% to a Blastoise without any investment. So ideally, we can chip that thing to the point of that. And with our speed for Modest Blastoise, we should be able to get the job done, picking up a KO against it very late on. And yeah, I'm just hoping that this Rotom could be very, very successful. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I need to mention for this. Oh, we also take a Modest Life Orb Sludge Bomb after Rocks from the Venusaur or after a Sun Boosted Weather Ball. So very valuable there. Our next mon is going to be our Kyurem here. Kyurem is running the Expert Belt this week because the Expert Belt is the best item I could possibly have on this Pokemon. I was thinking about running Icicle Plate, which increases my Freeze Dry to 1.2 times power. I was thinking about doing the same thing with Soft Sand for the Earth Power, but I hit my opponent's entire team for super effective damage with these three moves. Look at it. We have Freeze Dry, which hits the Araquanid, the Venusaur, the Sigilyph, the Eldegoss, and the Blastoise for super effective damage. Oh, and the Krokorok. We then have Earth Power, which hits the Melmetal, Terrakion, Ninetales for super effective damage. And then we have Flash Cannon, which hits the Grimmsnarl and the Rapidash for super effective damage. So we hit everything for super effective damage, meaning I can get off 1.2 times power on everything. That is huge. Oh my god. Whenever I get a moveset like this, an opportunity to use this, I'm in an amazing position. It's just, Expert Belt becomes one of the best items in the game when you can use this way. Our speed on this set is therefore a timid Venusaur. We actually just need to basically be modest and we're good to go. I was thinking about running a timid set still and just having more speed, or not more speed, but more bulk, but I decided to go with this route because I really want to hit things as hard as humanly possible because my opponent's team is so strong. We really got to take advantage of that. The good news is he's got a really big speed gap between the Venusaur and the Sigilyph. I don't really feel the Sigilyph is going to be coming. If it does, I have so many different answers for it, so I feel fine kind of ignoring it a little bit, but it goes from Venusaur all the way up to like Terrakion. That's crazy, right? So I'm hoping that we can get the job done with this set. Like I said before, our speed is there for the Venusaur without Sun, and we also take a max attack Play Rough from the Grimmsnarl, which is valuable just in case it comes. We fire off 2 Flash Cannons against it and do a huge amount of damage and roosted there for longevity. Our next mon is going to be our Aegislash here with Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, King Shield, and Magnet Rise. Yes, we're running Magnet Rise, the tech this week. I'm so excited for this because ideally we wall not the Grimmsnarl, we wall the Terrakion and we wall the Melmetal because both of them are running Earthquake to hit my Aegislash. I don't think that Melmetal's going to be running Darkest Lariat against me because look at my team. My team's cool with taking Darkest Lariats. I have quite a few resists to Dark, so I feel comfortable in that regard. The good news is we'll outspeed the Melmetal if it's Adamant. We then Magnet Rise up. We're now well above the ground, so he can't Earthquake us. And then as he goes for a double Iron Bash, I King Shield. King Shield will make it so that double Iron Bash 1 will not happen. It'll also lower his attack stat by 1 stage, meaning I can freely go for a Shadow Ball the next turn, King Shield up again, then I'll go for another Shadow Ball after that, being able to KO the Melmetal, and at the same time lowering his attack down by 2 stages. So it's a huge, huge benefit for us. And then just in case I cannot get the Magnet Rise tech off, I have the Shuckle Berry. Mostly is there for the Terrakion. Let's say it's a Scarf Terrakion or something, and I really need to make sure that I get the KO on it. I can always just bring this in, Flash Cannon, get the KO, do a shit ton of damage to it, and then have him, well, not kill me because I have my Shuckle Berry plus my Shield Mode. I should be able to handle it pretty effectively, and ideally we can get the job done. Aegislash resists or is immune to Terrakion's dual stab, and I had to bring it this week, even though the rest of its matchup against the Blastoise with Dark Pulse, against the Venusaur with Weather Ball, against the Ninetales with Flamethrower or Fire Blast is not that great. I had to bring it specifically for those mons. Our next mon is going to be our, where is it? Clefairy, and it is our final mon this week. Clefairy has been really, really useful for me this season. So is Machamp. It's crazy. These are the two mons that I kind of was like, I don't want them on my team anymore. I wanted to find options. I want to trade for Comfey. I want to trade for Alcremie. I want to trade for Aromatisse. But Clefairy's done fantastic, and there's just not another fighting type that does what Machamp wants to do or does well for us. So I went with this instead. We're running Moonblast, Moonlight, Thunder Wave, and Teleport. Kind of a standard set for us. Thunder Wave is there to paralyze things. We take a hit from the Terrakion pretty easily, I might add. We take a hit from the Grimmsnarl effortlessly. We take a hit from the Arachnid. We take two hits actually from the Ninetales. We can take a Sludge Bomb from the Venusaur if it's Life Orb boosted. If need be, I don't want to, but if it's an absolute must and we need to do it to stop a sweep, I can do that, Thunder Wave, and then go into something that'll outspeed it after that. I don't want to again, but it's something I may have to do. With Moonlight and the Sun, we actually gain back 75% of our HP instead of just 50%. It does only have 8 PP, which is unfortunate, but I do have to run it because I'm running Teleport on this set. And then this is another way to kind of check the Blastoise, especially if it's not running a boosting item. If it is just running a weakness policy, it's not at +2 until it gets hit by a super effective move. Basically a electric or grass attack. So I feel comfortable running this, Thunder Wave that thing, even though it hasn't worked out for us in the past because I missed Thunder Waves, but ideally we get the job done. This set, with its bulk, takes 2 Max Attack Admin Playrust from the Grimmsnarl and takes 2 Gmax Canonades from the Blastoise, and if need be, like I said, we take a Life Orb, Venusaur, Sludge Bomb. So I feel very confident in this set. Teleport is there, so that let's say it ends up being, I don't know, something against Clefairy, and I know he's going to switch out into the Melmetal. Instead of going for a Thunder Wave because I've already paralyzed that first thing, I can just teleport out. I'll get that -6 priority teleport. I'll take the hit, go into something that can take the hit, that can just dish out damage, and then I'll be fine. This is going to be a pivot this game for us, and I'm really excited to see what it can do. This is our team for this week's battle. If you guys enjoyed the team, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and let's go ahead and jump into it with the battle. Alright everyone, I messed up here and I had the timer go off by accident. I was still updating sprites. Screwed me over, but you see the 6A's bring here. Have fun, it's Incog. So we're going to be leading off with the Rotom, it looks like. Unfortunate. I want to lead off with my Machamp, but he did not bring the... What did he not bring? Oh, this is fine for me then. These are this thing. He did not bring the Melmetal, which is so surprising. So this thing has a very, very free lead here. I did not bring any removal, of course, we know that. But I can freely Volt Switch here. I'm going to go into my Machamp after that. So we can Volt Switch out. He's going to get up webs, I'm assuming. And we can now go into the Machamp here. And again, because I'm assuming he gets up webs, we're just about to go in. We're about to just get our Flame Orb off and blow him back. So yeah, very, very unfortunate we didn't get to go into Machamp to start, but he Mirror Coats me instead. Okay, that makes sense. We still don't take too much from that burn. Okay. And we will outspeed this thing. So if I go to my Machamp against a, what is this thing called? This is a Arachnid. Level 50, we are burned. Facade will nuke this thing. Okay, he has a grand total of 1 resist to normal. I'm just clicking Facade. I'm just clicking it. Got the KO, please. As we do, so Machamp picking up its first KO of the game. Beautiful, love to see it, which means there is no webs up on my opponent, on my side of the field, and that also means that my opponent now cannot, it's important, cannot beat my Inteleon. I completely forgot what I was going to say, but can't. There is the Gmax, not the Gmax, but the Rapidash. Very spooky. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that I had to take the damage on my Machamp, but I mean, it is what it is. A Brush Fire, that is Ninetales. Okay. Ninetales should do a huge amount of damage to me. Let's see, Ninetales, level 50, in the Sun, Fire Blast KOs me. I can go freely into I can go into Rotom here. Rotom's not very valuable to me, but I think Tiny's my better play. Because he did not bring them a champ, what is that thing called? Can't think of the name. So bad at it. The Melmetal. Clefairy has a really good time this game, especially once the Venusaur goes goodbye. So he goes for a Flamethrower here. 177 down to 104. I'll take that damage. And I can just fire off a Thunder Wave here. It's free against my opponent's entire team, and then I can teleport out. As he overheats, great bring. We live it. Ooh, we live it. That's huge. Wow, that is huge. Oh my god. I'm switching out. Yeah, I'm switching out. You better believe it. Do I want to switch out, though? Is that the play? How valuable is Clefairy left? It's a good sack, but I think my better play is to go for a Moonlight. Hope he gets fully powered, and yeah. As he does not get fully powered, and he gets the KO. So Clefairy, great bring on the overheats. Did not expect him to run overheat as well. That's 3 turns of this. But Machamp shut out speed now, right? Let's see, let's go to our calcs. So Machamp, if I go Ninetales, and it is paralyzed. 83, we outspeed. And we OHKO with Facade. We also OHKO with Close Combat, and I think, based on what he has left, I think my play is to go for the Close Combat. Because if he goes into Terrakion, then I'm screwed. How much do we do to Terrakion with a Bullet Punch anyways? So I'm making sure I'm just recording still. Good. Okay, Terrakion. Bullet Punch does 50 to 62. And how much does Facade do? It's a roll. It's actually a roll in my favor to KO after the Facade. So I'm going to go for the Facade here. This way it kills me in case he decides to go into Venusaur, or he decides to go into Rapidash as well. Because Rapidash won't die to both. But in comes Play-Doh, that is the Rapidash. It is Rapidash. So this helps me here. This was his fighting resist, and now it's taking, not to OHKO. Yeah, Machamp is just demolishing things. Oh my god. So every time we get the Machamp in on, wow, every time we get the Machamp in on the Ninetales, we get a KO. That's amazing. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to use Clefairy, but we get the Paralysis on it, which is very, very important. Paralyzing the Ninetales was absolutely huge. And the fact that we lived that hit, ooh, that's big. Those extra EVs coming in clutch. This is great. This is great. Okay. I think there has been, so there's the turn that the Ninetales came in and went for Flamethrower. That's 1. Frogger. Okay. As much as I want to stay in, or switch out, let me see, there's Sun, right? Sun is still up? Just making sure. Yeah. So, as much as I want to make sure that this thing doesn't go for growth, if it goes for growth, I think I lose. Straight up. So, I'm just going to go and fire off the Facade here. I can't let him attack me. I can't let him go for the, yeah, so he Sludger Bombs here, he gets the KO. We'll find out if he's Life Orb right now. He is Life Orb. And Sun does not wear, so he's Heat Rock on his Ninetales. Okay. I can go into Inteleon and get the KO. I can go into Rotom and get the KO. I think Rotom is my better play here. So I'm going to go into the Rotom here. I'm going to threaten him out, that's for sure. And I'm just going to go for a Volt Switch. Because I don't have the Overheat. But he's going to think I have the Overheat. There's no way he should think that he OHKOs me with Sludge Bomb. There's no chance. So if I go for the Volt Switch, he should be switching out. And even if he doesn't, I'll take the hits. As he switches out, fantastic. And I make the prediction, quote unquote, as he goes into Brush Fire. He's got 2 turns left of Sun. We do huge damage to it. Okay, that's good. And if I go Ninetales and take a look at the calc, Ninetales, level 50. Come on, level 50. I don't have much time for this. Level 50 against my Inteleon. That is Gigantamax. In the sun, Airstream doesn't KO, which is unfortunate. So I think if I go Full Buster with Earth Power will get the job done. So let's do it. Let's do it. As we get pressure going. And now we can fire off an Earth Power that is boosted by an Expert Belt against this and against the Terrakion. Yes, all I need to do is click Earth Power and Freeze Dry against the rest of his team, and I'm in a really good spot. But we should get the KO here. Keyword being should. Oh my god. The good news is we're keeping it, like the reason why I don't want to go into my Inteleon right now is because he needs to keep Blastoise in the back to Gigantamax. As he switches out and he goes into a non. Is that the Blastoise? It is the Blastoise. Okay. So his water moves are weakened. We'll take a max Steel Spike. So I'm just going to go for a Freeze Dry here. We should do a huge chunk of damage to this thing. So let's go Blastoise, Gmax. So Earth Power to 34 to 40, that makes sense. And we do 47 to 56 with Freeze Dry, and we outspeed it. So the Blastoise is going down here. The Blastoise is going down here. And what I can do, actually, I think I'm in a position to do this. I can sack this off, and then go into my Inteleon, and click max. Yeah. But we're basically going to get the KO on it anyways. As he max knuckles me. That's going to do so much less damage than a max Steel Spike would, as we're still just under half. And I think now is when the sun will expire. Yeah. Do I want to keep this thing around so I can max Airstream? Because I get 2 max Airstreams off. Let's think about this. Does Inteleon KO Terrakion? Come on now, Terrakion. Level 50 in Sun with Snipe Shots. It does not. Actually, it can. It's a roll. Let's speed it though. I really don't know if I want to sack this off right now. I think I do. What I'm just going to do, I'm just going to Roostall. I don't see a reason not to Roostall here. As he switches out. Okay. Okay. Brush. Okay. He wants the sun back up. But this is... Dude, you're in a tough spot now. He needs to make sure the sun stays up. Or else Inteleon just wins. We're back to full. Basically full. And I can fire off an Earth Power here. Yeah. He doesn't know what item I am. He probably knows an Expert Belt, let's be honest. Because of the damage we did with Earth Power and then with Freeze Dry. But we get the KO, so that's 1 KO for Kyurem on the Ninetales. The unfortunate thing is he has 7 more turns, or 7 more turns. No, 6 more turns, the Sun. And in comes Terrakion. Okay. If I go into you, and he... Let me think about this. If Terrakion goes for Earthquake against me... First of all, Kyurem, let's take a look. Close Combo will nuke me. Stone will nuke me. Earthquake will not. If I go into A/Slash... Earthquake into Earthquake will KO, so I can't do that. So I have to stay in. If he goes for a Rock move, I can't go into Rotom. So I have to just go for... What's more powerful? 80... 90. Earth Power is more powerful. So I go for Earth Power here. If he goes for Earthquake, he goes for Earthquake. He subs on me. Okay. Yeah, nope, this is not happening. Not today, sir. Not today. Probably means he's leftovers. But He may think I'm running like a berry now. Cure him. You know, I want to sack you off to get into Inteleon. This guy's playing well. Let's Earth Power again. And we'll see, does he just go for an attack? Again, this thing, we can't let this thing get a sub on me. We cannot. As he subs again. He is a sub-Salac berry set if I've ever seen one. The good news is Inteleon can take any hit. We're stalling out turns. Aegislash can take any hit. Like, I'm fine with this. I am cool with this for sure. Let's just do it. Come on, Cure him. Earth Power. You know, right now it's like Cure him, MACHAMP, which one's getting thumbnail? He's putting himself in range of Snipe Shot in the sun. He is. And he has to worry about me being Shadow Sneak on Aegislash as well. This is, we're in a good spot all around here. We're in a good spot. I'm okay sacking off my Cure him here. It's done more than enough as he close combats me and he's gonna get the KO. Yeah, so he gets the KO. So Cure him is gone now. Where are you, Cure him? Okay. And I think I can just go into Inteleon here. Click Max Airstream. And get the KO. Terrakion versus Inteleon. Dynamax. 47 to 56. Don't think it's safe to do that. Is it safe? Yeah, because if I'm Dynamaxed, close combat is 59 to 70 if he's Life Orb. He's not Life Orb. So I can Dynamax, go for Airstream twice. Because if I KO the first time, yeah, Airstream twice. That's the play. That's the play 100%. Because we'll outspeed this thing. We'll outspeed the Venusaur if it's modest. If we do KO it, then the Venusaur can't OHKO me with anything because I have my Rindo Berry intact. And if he doesn't die, then I get up a second Airstream, which means I always outspeed the Venusaur. Yeah, but he switches out. He's going to sack off the Blastoise here, I imagine. Yeah, he's going to sack off the Blastoise. There's no rocks up, which means, thankfully, I get to actually have my Airstream go off, which means I'll get my +1 in speed. And, again, Venusaur, in Sun, he's Life Orb. If he's got Solar Beam, or let's just try Frenzy Plant, I don't know. Frenzy Plant doesn't even OHKO. Frenzy Plant is 68 to 81 if he's modest Life Orb. So we're golden. We're at +1 now. If he's modest, we'll outspeed. This is just, we're all around, we're doing a good thing here. We're doing really good, hoping to get the job done, finishing touches. That is 1 kill more for, where are you? 1 more kill for Inteleon. I think that's his 8th kill in the season. Then comes the Venusaur. I imagine by the way he brought it in, he's probably timid, but we'll Airstream anyways. We'll live the hit because of our Rindo Berry, as he is modest, so we're going to get the KO, and it's looking like Inteleon is about to pick up its 3 kills this game. And we're going to pick up a 3-0 win, it looks like. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm very surprised he didn't bring Melmetal. I understand it because we have quite a few different checks to it. But, I mean, I will take it. I will take it. Aegislash not touching the field. You know, Inteleon did pick up 3 kills this game, but it's gotta be one or the other. It's gotta be, oh man, I'm trying to think who's gotta be. It's gotta be either MACHAMP or Cure him to make thumbnail. I think I'm gonna give it to MACHAMP. And that's it. 3 kills for Inteleon, and we pick up the 3-0 win. Gmax Inteleon broken. GG's to Incog. We're going to be doing a post-game interview as well, so make sure to stick around for that if you're interested in it. But big turns this game. One, roosting up with Cure him ended up being the right play there. Not only because he switched out, but if he had not switched out, I was able to get off a free Air Slash against him, and then I would have outspeed his entire team and just won the game outright. But yeah, no, especially because he was modest. So even if he KO'd me there, it still would have been a 3-0. I think Inteleon would have had to pick up 4 kills instead of 3, but hey, I will take it. GG's to my opponents. Make sure to go and check him out. He has really cool content, tons of free-for-alls as well, so make sure to go and check him out. And yeah, we'll get right started with the post-game interview. Alright everyone, welcome back. I am joined by Incog, coach of the Boston Cindaquils. First of all, GG.
GG's as usual.
Yeah, no, this was an interesting game. I'm just gonna let you know right off the bat. We talked a bit beforehand, but I actually did not want to lead off with Rotom. I completely forgot to submit my team. My plan was to lead off with MACHAMP and just click buttons. But I mean, I'll take it. It ended up working out. But if you had gone for webs early on, I think I would have been in a much worse position. But of course, you being Assault Vest, you just couldn't run it.
See, okay, so a lot of your team, let's just go right off the bat here. You have, what is it, Rotom Heat and Xatu. Xatu is basically anti-hazard. So I can't run hazards if I know there's a Xatu that could possibly come. Would Xatu be good here? No, of course not. But I've seen crazier things in my life. So I was like, okay, what happens if he's Magic Bounce like Heat Wave, Stored Power, and some crazy mess? And then he's like Charty Berry to ward off any Terrakion, so then he can set up and then go crazy. So that was one thing that I was thinking about, but I was certain you wouldn't bring it. Cinccino was the biggest problem for me team building, because Cinccino Choice Band comes in, it's just like Machamp, comes in, claims a kill, gets out of there quickly. Like,
yeah,
it was the worst.
No, Cinccino definitely was a problem for your team. I didn't feel comfortable bringing it, mostly because a lot of your team, it could Oko a lot, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't taking a hit from the Venusaur, especially if it's in Sun. And my whole point was making sure that anything could take a hit or could do back tons of damage. And it also couldn't do enough damage to the Blastoise to the point where it would be enough without giving you like a boost or in something. So yeah, I felt like I had to kind of go away from that. I like the Choice Scarf with Water Spout. I mean, I was Expert Belt on my Kyurem, meaning that if you'd just gone for a raw Focus Blast, it would have actually done more damage to me than the Max
Yeah,
Knuckle.
I had a feeling, but I was just like weighing my options at that point. But then I was like, oh wait, I could have, and then I just clicked the button. And I was like, never mind, fuck it, let's just do it.
So, I mean, okay, there's a few things I kind of want to get to, because you bringing the Rapidash, I did not expect that, especially over Melmetal. I thought you had 5 amazing brings in your Suncore, Melmetal, Terrakion, and Blastoise, and your last one could be Grimmsnarl or the Araquanid. And you obviously went with the Araquanid, but Rapidash.
Peep game. All right, so we live a Shadow Sneak, a Shadow Ball, if it's not fully invested modest, which you clearly are, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And because you'd be hitting us, we could easily just high horsepower and get rid of the H/slash if it's not Shuckle Berry. There are two things that I had to worry about there. Number one, obviously being HP invested, having Shuckle. Number two, if you have Shadow Sneak at all. Because if I don't kill you, then you Shadow Sneak and kill me back. So the idea was to scout if you're special, physical, or even just special with Shadow Sneak, and then Healing Wish out and heal up something. Now, I was expecting Machamp to come, because Machamp had a really terrible time whenever I was just looking over the team. I was like, okay, so in the Sun, Ninetales can overheat, Oko's it depending on the set. Rapidash can't Oko anything, but we can still bring it just for fun. Sigilyph is a different story. I almost brought that. The problem with Grimmsnarl, as you said, I could bring Grimmsnarl, was there's an Aegislash, a Roserade, and just a plethora of things that could definitely wall me off depending on the set I bring, because I never bring anything standard. Grimmsnarl didn't have a great matchup in general, and I nearly brought Sigilyph, but Grimmsnarl was kind of like an issue for me, because so I knew off the rip, everyone was talking mess about your Inteleon Gmax at the beginning of the season. I remember that. I was the only person, one of the few people who didn't say anything, and that's because it's a good Pokemon.
Yep.
And the reason is because once it max airstreams, all it really needs is to be modest, and it outspeeds everything on somebody's team. And that was an issue going into team prep, because I was like, there's not a whole lot of my team that resists all of its stabs, or even can resist its stabs, that can resist all of its hits. And like, I really wanted to bring Melmetal, but then there's a Crook, there's a Rotom Heat, there's a Machamp, there's a Heat Waving Xatu, and Teleon exists, so I have to run, like, I would have to run AV, and I was like, I don't want to keep running the same Melmetal set every week. So I was like, let me toy around with this a little bit. But definitely not the way I thought this battle would go, because I started, once you got the Thunder Wave on Ninetales, I said the game's over.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I did not expect you to be Overheat. I thought it was gonna be like Fire Blast plus Flamethrower, but hey, Overheat, great bring. It really, like, because you didn't bring the Melmetal, I mean, Clefairy just went in. It just destroyed everything, especially because I had a couple answers to Venusaur, just things that could take hits. For your point about the Machamp, saying that you didn't think it was going to be that great, Machamp actually took a hit from everything on your roster, like everything. And then I can fire off a Guts boosted attack. And if I came on something slower, like a Paralyzed Ninetales, an Araquanid, a Melmetal, I got off a Facade, which hit your entire team for amazing damage, or hit or close combat, depending on what you brought. I felt like your team had a lot of big problems for me to deal with, and you not bringing Melmetal really let me play freely with a lot of my team. Like, at least having it there would have allowed me to, or forced me actually, to keep my Rotom healthy, make sure that I'm not playing aggressively with it. Like, if you see my Rotom, I don't have overheat on it. So
yeah, so that was
yeah.
Okay, you volt switching into, what was it, Kyurem, I believe it was, or something?
Yeah, Kyurem.
I had growth on my set, and I said on video, and I think I still stand by, I said, I'm going to switch out into Ninetales just to see what will happen, because I'm pretty sure he has overheat. And then when you didn't, and you volt switch, I was like, damn it, if I growth, I could easily just win the game from here. Because you didn't have a lot of HP or Spidef on Kyurem, so Sludge Bomb is doing a chunk, or at least doing a good amount. Freaking, if I still have Sun up, Aegislash doesn't want to take a Weather Ball, and I had enough speed to be max speed Aegislash outside of Sun, so that was very important for me. And then Rotom Heat would kill, it doesn't have overheat, and then if I'm in Sun, I beat Inteleon with Giga Drain, because I'll be +2 at that point.
Yeah.
So that was my kind of thinking process, and as soon as you volt switch, I was like, I lost the game, because you have to play cautiously at all costs when you have a win con like Venusaur in the Sun, because a lot of my teams get built first Ninetales, Venusaur, and Blastoise, and then seeing what those three. But clearly, I need to think about dropping this in Rapidash, but also just some general thoughts about what I need to do moving forward, because I fight Brendan next. Oh, man. Okay. Awesome.
I will say, okay, if you had stayed and gone for growth, I think there was maybe 3 turns left of Sun there. I would have had to just stall you out. That was my only hope. And if
that's why I wanted to go for growth.
Yeah, so I'd literally have to just wait until Sun wore off, because at +2 with Giga Drain, you O-code my Inteleon, even when Gigantamax, even with my Rindo Berry. So I had no out to that. I need to make sure that you couldn't get that off. That's why I had to sack off the Machamp to the Venusaur. Literally, again, no options. If I sacked it off and got the, sorry, if you went for growth on the switch and I KO'd you, that's just gravy for me. I'll take it. I'm surprised at your coverage for Blastoise. Like, looking at my team, I was definitely expecting something a little bit different than fighting Water and Dark. I was kind of expecting Steel to come, maybe. That's a way to get defense boost instead of attack boost with Focus Blast. Because everything should be hitting with Focus Blast, like Kyurem, Crocodile, what else? Cincino. None of them are appreciating a combination of Steel Spike and Cannonade. So I was a little bit surprised about that. But at the end of the day, I don't think it mattered. You would have gotten a bit more damage off on the Kyurem, but I would have still survived the hit, even though you were modest.
I think the big thing for me with Focus Blast was that I was sitting there and I was like, I could have brought Flash, generally speaking, but like it only, like, I hate bringing certain things for just one particular problem. Focus Blast helps me. So big thing about Cincino too, and I make slides for these, which I can share with you really quickly because I made slides there for my video as well. But like, if I go to my thing here, it says under Blasters, 1 for your Scarf Cincino, and the big thing for me was that if I'm Scarf and you're Scarf, I lose. If you're Banded, I still could lose, but at least I'm Scarf, so I could Focus Blast. So Focus Blast for me was more like, hey, I want to beat Cincino 1v1. I would like to imagine that he's Banded and I could just hit it with a Focus Blast. Flash Cannon for me was like, this works, but it's not convenient for me either. Like, it can beat Clefairy, I guess, but like, I have a Venusaur, so, and a Melmetal. So like, on top of that, I was like, I don't know. This is kind of weird. But honestly, I could have ran Steel Spike for defense, but I'm like, your team is, I guess, more specially based to kill my Blastoise, so it's just like, I don't know if I run on Steel Spike and then it becomes useless.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
but,
it was a tough matchup all around. I think definitely there were some areas that your team really struggled with to handle mine. Machamp, I think, caught you off guard, which was helpful for me, but I mean, it really changed a lot of the way you wanted to play. Basically,
yeah,
getting rid of 2 Mons.
Switch out.
changed a lot, right? But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I mean, you're what, 1-4 now. You still have a shot at making playoffs. That's the beauty of IBL. The season is 12 weeks long, I think, or 11 weeks long. Tons of time left, and your division, I mean, top 4 makes playoffs. I think you're sitting at like 7th or 8th right now, and that should be enough for. There's still enough time for you to make the playoffs with that push. I know you had a couple transactions that you're going to be having active for next week against Brendan, and
I'm just gonna, he traded me something, and then I'm gonna fucking get rid of this stupid horse. But yeah. Do you want to submit? You want me to submit? What do you want to do here?
I'll take care of it. All right. But
okay.
yeah, no, first of all, thanks again for hopping on the channel. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Make sure to go and check out Incog. He has a lot of really good stuff on his channel, including free-for-alls that are all very entertaining. His draft league stuff is coming up as well, so make sure to check him out. His links are in the description. So thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.